Well, boys, the gang's back. After a long hiatus, the CRAM session crew is finally back together on New Year's Eve, on the threshold between 2021 and 2022. I'm glad I didn't stutter. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Pember.
You mean you're glad you didn't stutter this take?
Yes, but I'm groupthink and I can censor whatever I want at will.
Wall.
Dude, we're in a podcast. Anyways, I like to take. We got a good ensemble here today, so I'd like to take a moment to have everybody introduce themselves.
Hey guys, I'm Gabe Smith, and I've been on this podcast quite a lot. It's nice to be back.
My name is Henry. I'm the brother of the host. I have a bad haircut, and I'm short.
True. Facts.
You've defined your entire being.
Yeah, that's all I am.
What's up? SEVE Pausa back at it again.
That's exactly the point. My friend over here is doing a Louis Armstrong impression. John Walker.
Guys, is it a challenge? We're in between people talking. Let's not. No, I failed.
How does it feel to be back in the podcast once again?
Feels good.
Yes. And SEVE,
Yeah.
you've made a huge impact so far, I guess, by just completely going at everybody's throats.
Well, I was on a different take.
Yeah,
Okay,
previous
Yes.
takes.
But still, I mean, where do you think you get your bombastic wit?
My bombastic wood.
Wits.
Wits. Don't get ahead of
Illiterate
yourself.
fuck.
Fuck you. It's probably
I
just
don't
cute.
know.
I guess it's just hanging around y'all all the time. I used to be this unfunny little piece of shit back at Pinecrest Academy.
Wait, SEVE, when did you?
Name it.
When
We
did you-
slander Pinecrest on this
What?
podcast.
Quiet.
Well, I want to hear this.
When did you go to Bosco? What year?
Sophomore year, so last
Okay,
year.
listen. That was like. That's the reason you're so hot and handsome and popular, is because. Well, I wasn't hot and handsome, but I was funny. Like, I didn't have that. But the thing is, because we went through all the awkward stages at a different school, and then just said, all right, well, fuck that, and then just went to a totally new school without anybody remembering us as, like, a cringy freshman or middle schooler or whatever.
Yeah.
It was, like,
It's a breath of fresh air.
Well, yeah, dude, it was crazy, because I always thought, like, moving schools, especially, like, halfway into high school, would be the worst thing ever. But then I went to Bosco, and I'm like, nobody ever knows how, like, cringe I was. Like, my sister recently... I don't know how the hell she has an iPhone now, but she had like motherfucking Amazon photos or some. I don't even know how you find that shit, but it was just like videos of me from like middle and high school, and I'd be doing the floss and stuff, man.
Oh.
I'd have the polo shirt on with the
that was
khakis.
everyone. That was
Yeah.
everyone.
I mean, yeah, no, it was everyone,
That was
but
the
no.
mandated uniform.
But it is
It was by our moms. Our mom's like, you're gonna look like a handsome
The
boy.
school.
No, he's talking about like
No.
before Bosco.
Oh yeah,
no,
before
no.
Yeah.
like I was wearing the uniform before I even went to the school, man. I had no
Like that's
idea
the
what
thing is like, I don't hate Bosco. I'm not like the biggest fan of it either. I got out of it. That sounds like I was forced to be in it, but like I ended up leaving eventually. But what I kind of Bosco, yeah. Shut up. What I kind of realized was like it's a really good place, you know, for like just to find people who not like that you have to relate to per se, but just like people who you can like really get to know and like
And you end up related.
yeah, because that's the thing is like if you think about it, there's so many like there's so many like stories and shit about like, oh, don't become too close with your friends in high school because once you guys go to college, you know, you're never gonna fucking talk to them again. It's like
that's exactly why
but,
you
like-
should get close to them.
but that's what
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly.
saying is like that's so true, and like I'm at a public school right now, and it's like I can't think of a single person in my school that I think I'm gonna be friends with after the next 4 years
Gabe,
of
that's
college.
what I actually want to ask you because I know you're going to Roswell now.
Yeah.
I've never like ever heard about it. How is that? Like the transition? Like how
Well,
is
after I talk about Bosco, I'll explain about the
Yeah.
transition because I have a lot to say about that as well.
Yeah, I
but
wanna hear this.
with like I can't think of a single person at my public school I go to now that like after high school I'm gonna like try to catch up with. But it's like the majority of people that I was like good friends with at Bosco, I still talk to like
I mean,
a
look at
lot
right
of them.
here, like, we're all right
we're
here.
all sitting
Exactly.
around right here. I went to middle school with some of these guys. I went to high school with some of these guys, and it's just like I like.
I mean, it's a significant portion of my entire grade.
That's what I'm
sitting
saying.
right
Yeah, but it's like I'm already getting this taste of being away from them and going to a different school and still being able to keep up with them. So it's like I don't have like this fear that once I go to college, unless I go to like fucking Oregon University, like all the way across the United States, which is unlikely. But like unless I do that, I feel like if I'm still here and they're still here,
you can
like
say Benedictine, bro.
Funny
It's okay.
you should say that.
hold on, because I still think regardless of where I am and regardless of where they are, I feel like friends like these are just like so hard to find in a situation like public school, you know.
Yeah.
And it's something I really took for granted, you know, back when I used to just dog on the school I used to go to. So it's just something. It's like it's nice to be able to admit that at this point, I guess.
I feel like go ahead.
I was just gonna say, from someone who also goes to a public school,
Which school do you go to?
I go to Alliance.
Okay.
It's a pathway school, and I totally agree with Gabe on this one, because you do not find people that are personable, that are really honest, good people there. You just find a bunch of rich people that are really snotty and rude.
Well, here's the thing. We don't want I don't want to talk down to people who go to public school because
Yeah.
I know
Well, not all public schools are bad.
yeah, I think it's more of a systemic issue than a problem with the students.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we go to this really fucking
niche,
lofty niche private school, right? And it's easy to think that we're some sort of different species of human, but they're the same people as us. And if they were in our environment, they would be you could take any public school or pluck them out and put in here, and they would be the same sort of charismatic individuals.
Only if
No,
they
that's not true. I don't
only
agree
if
with
they
that,
wanted
though.
to go to the school.
Exactly,
Like
that's
if
exactly.
if they went to public school, said I want to go. I'm Catholic. I don't enjoy this. I want to go somewhere else. Then they would. But if you took just any kid,
Well,
and
here's the
forced them
thing.
here,
Why do you think the reason is that people stay in public school? Is
their parents?
exactly.
Yeah,
money?
their parents are making them.
They don't have the decision. I mean, my parents tell that I'm a big car guy. I talk to my dad. I'm like, why don't you ever get a super nice car? You're 50 now. He's like, I probably could have. I didn't send you and your sister's ass to private school. And I'm like, damn, they could have. My parents, they're not fucking poor. They live a really great upper middle class life. But I'm like, what? I see all these other people. They always have a new car every 3 years. They always have all this shit. They're always going on vacations out of it. And it's like, why don't we ever do that? And they're like, well, we're spending that extra money on private
It's
school.
a lot, yeah.
As opposed to living a more luxurious life. And I'm like, that's kind of a huge.
It's
and
a sacrifice,
later, Well, I realized later in life, I want a fucking Porsche. I want a nice house. I want all that shit. And it's like, but you know what's more valuable to me, honestly? You couldn't put any dollar amount on my experience at Bosco. That is invaluable. So if my kids even had the chance to live that instead of just a normal, I have a friend who's similar to me, and he goes to a public high school. It doesn't sound like he hates it, but it's just an everyday thing. You go, you learn, you have a couple school friends, you come back. You don't ever come out of it with anything meaningful. And if I had to give up having a nicer life to send my kids to a school that really impacted them in a good way, then I would totally do it.
100%.
It's just a money issue. It's up to the
Exactly.
parents.
What's what you said earlier. We can't dog on public schoolers who stay in there because really, as you said before, it's not they have a choice.
Not only that, I feel like a lot of it's just about preference of the student as well. I don't necessarily dislike being at a public school now. I feel like I'm able to I'm able to talk to people. I'm not the kind of person who's just gonna be sitting in the corner, with my AirPods in all day. The pot.
Well, see,
Everybody knows me.
But what I'm saying what I'm saying is what I'm saying is we could sit here and we could talk down on high school and say it's
Yeah, but that's not the point.
It's talking
It's
down. We're just making
Rather we're
observations.
talking, we're just talking about the
but all I'm saying is
I know what you mean, though.
it's I actually don't mind being where I am right now, but I'm just really grateful for being able to have the opportunity that I had before having gone to public school. Because I went to public school when I was younger, before middle, in the middle of middle school when I transferred to Bosco. But before that, I was at public schools, and so I was able to witness that beforehand, and then utilize the friendships I got in middle school and in high school before I left as a sophomore and went to public school again. And because of that, I'm kind of I'm content at where I'm at now, because I like the way things are run in public school, not to diss on anyone at Bosco and the way they run things. It's not it's different,
Yeah.
But it's I'm okay with the way I'm learning things now. I feel like I'm able to do more, especially with the variety of classes I have, and just being able to specialize in things that I can learn even more in college for kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
well, I mean, like, big high schools are going to have more classes than
Yeah.
Bosco for
Well,
sure,
yeah.
like electives, because my friend, like, there's probably a million more, but my friend takes, like, a film class, there's a culinary class, there's
Right,
all that
yeah.
shit like that.
There's-
Because he's kind of ahead in school, he kind of finished classes early,
Uh-huh.
so now he has time to, like, take
More
those
electives,
extra,
yeah.
more interesting classes, and obviously, you know, the way Bosco is, they kind of just give us the core classes we need, and then what you're really there for is the community.
But really,
Right.
that's like every private school.
That
Like,
is
because
true.
I would love to take like a cinematography class. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, when I go
like
to
film.
college, I'm gonna minor in cinematography.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
I love movies. I love editing movies. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, the stuff you showed me where you, I was
Exactly.
wondering,
That
like,
stuff was so entertaining,
editing
bro.
so
stuff
we
is-
just like private schools. Yeah, they just give you the core classes. Like they just give you what you need to go to college. But I would love to at least get that experience before college to be like, oh, this is what it's like. You know, this is what I could be doing for the rest of my life. Like, some internships or whatever.
Yeah, Sebi,
Like-
you went to Pinecrest, right?
Yeah.
Pinecrest is a lot bigger of a Catholic school.
Yes, it is.
I think there's a fine line because my cousins in Minnesota, they went to like I guess a Pinecrest-esque Catholic school where it's like a big Catholic school, and eventually the thing is, you know, if you want more classes and the school to be bigger, you need more students
Yes.
and a bigger campus and all that stuff and more. And then it reaches a certain point where the school dilutes that what we were talking about, like the very personal people and friendships, and you know, people like I assume this is kind of similar to like high school, because this is how I feel about my coworkers at work. You know, when I'm at work, I'll like chat them up and have fun with them, but like I don't fuck with them after work. I don't
Yeah,
say shit.
exactly.
You
That's
know what
the
I
big
mean?
thing.
Like they're kind of school buddies. That's what I felt about my other. I went to another
Jacob,
private high school.
How many people total were in our entire grade?
Middle school?
Six.
In
Six.
Yeah.
See, yeah, there's a
There's six
fine
of
line between being super small and just being too big, where it kind of dilutes. Like, if it gets too big, you're letting the wrong people in. Because at Bosco, they're super specific about who they let in,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. I think Bosco's at the perfect middle. Obviously, it's never going to be perfect, but I feel like, you know, trading off, having a little bit, you know, you only really get the core academics, but trading it off for like how the social situation
Yeah.
is 100% what I would do.
Yeah, it'll carry over.
I want to add on that.
Okay.
Sorry. Just because like this happened with Pinecrest, and like I want to say it's also happening to St. John Bosco, but like St. John Bosco needs to stay like the size that they are right now. If they need to deny people, then like go for it. Like
Yeah.
like whatever. Because the thing that happened with Pinecrest is it was the same as St. John Bosco. It was a small Catholic school, and it was great. It was exactly what St. John Bosco is today, but they expanded and they got bigger and they needed more money. So they were accepting anyone like who would be willing to go to Pinecrest.
And not everybody
and the
that's
thing is that
willing
they
to
got-
go is a good fit.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. They got a football team. They got all these sports. So most of these kids coming in were playing for those
Football,
sports,
yeah.
mainly the football team. And these kids aren't the best kids, so they're just like dragging down the school to what it is
There's
now.
a couple people like that at Bosco. There's the big ass Afro kid last year who disappeared. There was that weird. There's that weird big ass Afro. Bro.
I do remember
I
that
remember
kid.
him.
He,
He
was
just
like
disappeared.
Jonah Hill.
I remember I
disappeared.
was in a class. Jonah Hill. I was in a class with freshmen, like ancient history, and I remember he was a freshman, and then randomly, like I think 2 weeks after he left, I just randomly said in the middle of class, I'm like, what happened to the Afro kid? And all of them just started laughing. I'm like, wait, you're right. I'm like, wait, he's in your class and you even know he left?
Dang.
But
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely people at Bosco who have gotten kicked out, and
Oh,
it's like deserved.
Just
Oh, yeah.
playing.
My
Oh,
little
not
brother.
you, Gabe. No, Gabe. I didn't mean
you're
that.
off the hook,
No, I didn't
Gabe.
mean that.
My little brother was politely requested not to return.
Hey, that was me too.
Yeah, that's
happened to
because
me as well.
your little brother attacked Gabe's sister. Actually.
This is some
True,
lore I didn't know
true
about.
enough.
That's lore.
You fucked up Allie.
Tell
bro.
the story of Alec.
We're trying
So
to
what
put
happened?
Alec Baldwin.
Up, not with.
It's been a while. I'm pretty sure he punched her.
Yeah.
Dang.
He clocked
No,
her,
it
bro.
wasn't,
How
wasn't
old
like
were they?
it wasn't
He
like
just
he was
full-on-
me. They were little.
No,
I
no, no,
was-
no, no,
He
He
just
punched her.
socked the
Yeah.
girl in the
This
mouth.
is
They
sixth
were-
grade and
yeah,
eighth grade.
They were in, no, they were in
Eighth
fifth.
grade.
No,
No, it wasn't eighth grade.
No, yeah, you're right.
She's
It
eighth
was
grade right now. It was sixth grade.
No, like we were in sixth.
Oh,
We
no,
were
no,
in
no.
eighth
We were in. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
we
were
were
in
in
my,
eighth.
yeah, we were in
He's
eighth grade.
he's 4 years younger than me.
Right. Okay. So they were in fourth.
Jeez, that's cruel.
That's awful.
Well, I guess really quick to finish up this conversation is the big thing between public school and Bosco was public school you don't get the family aspect. The teachers aren't really one-on-one with you.
They should
That
pay
is
us for
very true.
advertising.
They really should.
Yeah.
But Bosco,
Yeah, honestly.
They
I
should
want
not.
some conversations.
Dude,
We need to gatekeep. This
okay,
school sucks.
You know what's stupid?
What's up?
Pinecrest did this thing. They were so desperate for money and students that they literally said, "Oh, if you get a student to come to Pinecrest,
Like referral bonuses?
yeah, they give you $2,000
Jesus
if you bring someone to that
Yeah,
to
that's
school."
dilute.
They
That's
were so
desperate.
desperate. So then the school just kept coming down because all of these bad kids were coming in and they were drinking, they were smoking, they were like having sex
They
and all
had
this shit.
they had drug
Drinking,
tests.
smoking, and sex?
No,
In
no,
high
no,
school?
But
no,
yeah, I know
no,
what you mean.
it's
Yeah,
like
never
at a
happened.
Catholic
Yeah, at a
school,
Catholic
that's
school.
not normal.
I mean,
a
the
BT.
thing is, my
well, yeah, but BT's
BT doesn't count.
my
Yeah, BT
my
is a
aunt
school.
recently moved from Minnesota to California, or not California. That's my other aunt. From Minnesota to South Carolina.
a big
Because first of all, the school was their school was basically being a Pinecrest where they're fucking letting all these people in.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing for the sports. It wasn't actually Catholic school, whatever. And they had the choice to send their kids to like a very small Catholic school, like think of like early Bosco, like that small, and like a bigger Catholic school where it would be more normal. And we told them to send them to the smaller one, and they did. Because the thing is, her two daughters are sophomores, so they're not really going to get to see it. But her two sons are 6th grade, so I think by the time they're in high school, it will have gotten as big, and they can get like their own little Bosco there, which is interesting. Because I'm also interested to like kind of ask them like if it ever turned out as good as Bosco, because I never expected going to Bosco that it would. Like, I remember taking that first tour. They're like, "This is the choir room where we sing." I'm like, "What the fuck? These people are weird, bro." But
That's one thing.
I
like-
think
Oh, go
you
ahead.
had something to say.
Well, I was just gonna say that
Yeah.
Bosco, if Bosco can keep the size that they are in school, but add more core, like not core classes, but more, what's the word? Not
Elective.
electives to their school,
That's what I was gonna
but
say.
still be very one-on-one, then I think they would do much better in the people that they get
Right.
too.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
also
like,
wish
students
people-
aren't just gonna come just
I
to
mean,
take
they were-
those electives.
It's a
Right,
hard
but
balance.
also-
it's hard to balance.
They were pretty receptive of students' ideas.
The past is the past.
Oh, so
Spread
I
your
see.
You're the one who should have been in hot water. You're the one who organized the walkout, right? You and John.
You guys did a walkout?
They protested, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
Because
see,
What
so
was it?
basically, like the bell, she was like the bell. I dismiss you, not the bell, right?
And Robert and I stood up and we're like, we're out of here.
Like, fuck
We
this,
walked
this
out of
is
her
left.
class.
What grade is this?
Eighth.
This
Eighth
was
grade?
8th grade.
I swear, like 8th and 9th graders are so bold.
You want to know what's funny?
So bold, bro.
Oh, I know what's
I
funny?
was a
Because they
bitch
think
to
they're
that
the
woman.
So guys, wanna know what's funny? This is like an observation I've had about myself. I'm weird as fuck, right? And like
Yeah.
most
Yeah, okay.
weirder than most high schoolers, I would say.
Nothing's wrong
No.
with it.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not supposed to be like I'm
Not
I'm the
having
popular.
curly hair and being tall isn't weird.
Yeah, true.
Fuck you.
You're not tall.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was too easy, bro.
He said that.
I was talking about somebody else,
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
You could have.
Yeah. Anyways, the reason it was is because I heavily fucked with middle school the whole time. So instead of getting bullied during middle school, like it was just like, well, fuck it. I didn't have any chance to be weird. So, man, check it out. Stuck in high school.
Well, that's the thing about it. That's
See,
like
I got to be weird at my other school and then come
Exactly.
To
yeah,
Bosco.
no,
Learning
that's
from
the
all my
good thing about
mistakes.
Bosco. Like, if we can wind back to Bosco, the best thing about Bosco is that like for example, like you Roscoe and you said like at Pinecrest you were fucking like backstabbed by all your friend groups.
Yeah.
And you basically just like had no friends at Pinecrest, and I was like, you should come to SJBA, and you joined, and you immediately just had.
Listen,
were
I
welcomed
didn't
in
have
your
no
friend group.
friends. Okay,
I know
listen.
that.
I had my
SEVE
friends.
didn't.
They were
Okay,
very-
not
oh,
you.
okay.
Yeah, no, I was that
Henry-
popular. I was that popular guy with the AirPods in the corner. Everyone knew me, but no one wanted to.
But Roscoe, point is, point is,
Well,
And
see,
Henry's
okay.
like, you and Sevi, you just like, you guys were
You
losers.
knew- you
nobody liked
losers.
You. You're fucking stupid.
but point is, Roscoe, you
I
have
know.
glasses and you're a fucking nerd.
Yeah, but
so.
they're
Okay,
they're,
no
they're
more of this.
barbarians.
We already decided that we
Here,
It's getting hostile.
clarification. Famous does not mean well liked.
That is
True.
That's
But
very
at
true.
Bosco, like, there's no. I'd like to think
Listen,
that there's
I
no
don't-
famous people at Bosco.
Oh, no.
There's really popular people. No, here.
That's the same very popular and famous as like
No,
the same
but
thing.
like the thing is, there's no one that like is at Bosco that is like popular
I
that
was
isn't liked by people.
I was trying to find a
That's
politer
true.
way
I
of
guess
saying
that's true.
everyone knew he was and they knew to avoid him.
Well,
No,
it's a small
no, they didn't
school.
avoid me.
If you fuck up, people don't like you.
Well,
I'm
that-
not like close. Okay, when I went to Bosco, this is one of the weirdest things that happened. Right, I was mainly in It was my junior year, and I was in most, like, 9 out of 10 classes with sophomores and had one class in my own class for that year. So I was totally out of the loop with my class.
That was a fun year, though.
I forgot.
No, it was fun, but I was out of the loop with my class. And every now and then we'd have a class and everybody talking. I didn't really have many friends that in my own class that year. Like, I made friends with Gabe
with
and Jacob.
us, yeah.
But,
Yeah, because you rode on the bus to the march with them.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You didn't even go with your own class.
Yeah.
That's how, like...
But, I in one of these classes, Mr. Span's like, my only friends are like fucking, you know, they're great people, but they're not like top ranking, you know, popularity people, but they were fun. And every now and then, you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a real issue in this class with excluding people and what's this. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Because, you know, that's what I got. Like, these classes are such close-knit friend groups that they fucking, anybody tries to diverge from something or fucks up once, you get kicked out from talking to anybody.
That's the thing.
And
That's
it works
the
the same
price.
way with popularity.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to talk like this because I know people like me at the school, whatever. I try to be humble about it, but I literally went to the fucking choir bullshit, and I walked into the freshman room thinking like, oh, this is like the freshman class from last year, but it was like all the new freshmen I never met. They're like, is that Will Roscoe? Is that this? I'm like, these are like 40 motherfuckers I've never met in my life.
Exactly.
I know.
Know my name. I went to the fucking pumpkin pig roast festival, whatever it is. I was like sitting by watching some kids play kickball. This little kid looking like a Fortnite player, looking like he's doing the floss, sits next to me. Hey, Will Roscoe, like your Yeezys. I'm like, who are you? Who are you?
Well, that's
I
the
don't know these
price of
people.
having, like, a small community. Because,
Yeah.
like, having the small community of Bosco is, like, really, like... It's the best thing about it, in my opinion.
I mean,
But yeah,
you get really
one-
good at telling people's faces apart when they all wear the same uniform.
that's true.
Yeah,
Dude,
you
okay.
really do.
Yeah, that's actually
You
so true.
really do.
Side tangent, bro. Uniforms kick ass, okay?
True. I was so worried when I went to.
It's
I'm like,
so bad.
I have to go to high school
They're
where I
not
can't
that
wear a
bad
uniform.
anymore.
I can't
Yeah,
wear what I
they
want.
got
Listen,
better.
when I was fucking sophomore, I had no drip anyway, bro. They saved my ass, bro.
No,
I got
bro.
no drip.
Uniforms are the best because you can find, like... When no one's wearing different clothes, you can just talk to people as people. You're never worried about what you're wearing, and you just
I worry about what
who
I
you
wear.
are.
Like,
I'm
a lot.
never
Like I'm not
worried
gonna
about
lie,
it
I was picking out
regardless.
clothes to go to this, and not like any of you guys. give a
Exactly.
fuck.
No.
And I was like, oh, should I wear these green pants with this? Is it gonna look good? What about the shoes? Do they match? Like, why the fuck am I thinking about that?
I
When you
know.
get, like,
Exactly.
I have so many. I have so many clothes. I have 2 drawers with all my shorts, all my t-shirts, and I have an entire closet full of long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, sweatpants, and I literally wear like the same 5 things
Yeah, me too.
every week.
I have like a
it
loop.
it would just get old.
I'll just wear
I mean,
whatever
it is
the hell's
old.
comfortable.
That's I like
Yeah,
that.
well, what amazes me is the fact that we all worry about material things and not so much on ourselves as a person.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why Bosco's good because it really made you focus on that. And I've noticed like this year now that I'm working and not going to school, and now I'm getting money. Like I'm kind of focused on that material shit, bro. I'm not getting like paid to super, but I'll get good paychecks and I'll like buy some shit and like I love having all this money. When I was at Bosco, I didn't give a single shit about
Hey, but
not having money.
the thing about that is the reason you do it is because it's an authentic expression of self, right?
That is true.
Because
It's double-edged
I
sword.
mean, you're earning
well,
it.
yeah, finances be damned. The reason most people get corrupted per se by materials in the modern world is to compare the self to others, right? Or
Yeah.
try to elevate your status or whatever. Like,
Everybody
oh,
want-
yeah, like I need to look cool or I need a fin or whatever. Like that's not the right way to do it because it's not an authentic expression of self. It's a compromise of the self to fit others.
Every single one of you has known me long enough to know that I do not give 2 fucks about what other people think of me.
That's
Yeah.
that's like a good way to go through
That's
life.
a good way of
It
life,
really
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's like why should you care? Like the
I am-
like
Okay, this is
I
the
am
thing,
known
right?
as the insane one to people I've never met.
I know, but like that's retarded. It's like you just have like
That's
your
also kinda
own,
cool.
like-
so gross.
It is cool. It is
I
kind of
hate
cool.
shit.
People are
Is that you?
scared of you
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it
because
was
you
Henry.
don't give a shit.
But
don't know.
yeah, like here's the
The
thing:
fuck?
why do people judge other people without knowing them? That pisses.
I mean,
me
Listen,
off.
that's just like.
listen, I
how
want to
it
go back
works.
to the. I want to go
It's
back
a
to
really
the.
easily
It's human
identifiable
nature.
character trait.
I want to
Yeah,
go back
yeah.
to just the materialism bullshit because, like, I'm kind of referring to like clothes here, but it can be like clothes. It can be buying shit for your car. It can be a million different things you spend money
It
on.
could be the phone you have.
The
it could
phone,
be
yeah,
headphones.
AirPods, technology, buying a computer,
Exactly.
video games, whatever,
Car.
whatever you want to buy. This is the thing I've realized though. I think it's amplified for me because of the 2 years I had at Bosco. I literally didn't give a shit about all that because you go to school, you wear a uniform, nothing matters except who you
Exactly.
are.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got out of Bosco, I realized like I've been not in like a bad way, and like people like to be like, I had to suppress who I really am, but it's like I haven't like expressed myself in 2 fucking years. So for like the whole summer, I was buying fucking clothes after clothes, buying all this shit. I got a job just so I could like, I was just buying shit after shit, and it's like I feel like the reason I did that is because at Bosco, it's not like a bad thing, but definitely one of the impacts of like truly having to be yourself is you forget about, all, like you're saying, like you forget all the
There's
material
a quote
things.
about that I actually have saved, and I'm trying to find it.
But does it matter though?
It
Does
matters.
it honestly matter though?
It depends on who
what
you
matters?
ask.
Like,
People
okay,
can value
so
what they want.
Exactly.
He
Not
said-
everybody.
Look,
Well, hold on.
Let
okay.
him go.
He said that when you're at Bosco, you're only worrying about your true self.
Right.
You're not worrying about what you're wearing, anything like that.
Yeah.
But then when you get out of Bosco, you start worrying about what you're wearing, and you stop worrying about your true self.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, is that
well, that's what's-
important though? Like, why?
What do you
What
mean?
do you
by
mean?
that?
Like,
What's
okay,
important?
is it important about what we wear?
The way I'm
Does it
saying-
matter what others think about us?
The way
if
I'm
we're
saying-
happy.
Wear
ultimately,
clothes, don't be
ultimately,
bitches.
no.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter if they
ultimately
match.
no, but it really depends on the person.
Okay,
like
this
when
is-
you're in a school where everyone accepts you, you don't care because everyone accepts
The
you.
way
you
I'm
go
saying
out in
it-
society.
the way
where
I'm saying
everyone
go out of
judges each
Bosco-
other, that's what gets in our heads.
The way I'm saying go out of Bosco isn't like I'd get out of school and then worry about it. Like I'm saying like now that I have not been at the school for like several months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'm not saying like I go to Bosco when I was in school and I get out
And then
and
it's
then
like,
during
yeah.
like this 8 hours before the next day be like I need to buy stuff.
Yeah,
What
so
who
it's
am
like-
I?
let me-
Like,
like-
it didn't matter, but now that I'm out of Bosco into like
Yeah.
more of the
No,
real
that
world,
makes-
that's
so-
come back to me for sure.
I feel like a good way to put it is being in Bosco and being able to focus on this true self we're talking about. You're able to like utilize that in the 2 years you're at Bosco, and then afterwards, because you kind of have that set, you're able to be like you're Jesus. You're able to have like the ability to like splurge on clothes and shoes and still be able to focus on your true
Well,
self. It's like because shut up because before
I mean that's
I hate the word, but
That's
you're
the
right.
right
It's
word.
I
the
like
right.
that word.
It's like
Okay,
it's like
dude.
you've kind of already like formed the. Shut up. You've kind of already like formed this like connection between like your true self and being able to spend money on things and like not lose. When in the past, like in Bosco, if you wouldn't have been able to like focus on that kind of thing, you would have never been able to build up to that. If that makes sense.
To add more context, I'm just gonna say I'm not saying like I got out of Bosco. I'm like I'm gonna buy $1 million of designer clothes because I want everybody to think I'm rich. Like I was just
Right.
buying clothes because I haven't bought stuff in a while. And
That's
I
what
was,
I'm saying, yeah.
And I
But
think
you
Bosco.
just go on a
I
buying
think
spree.
Bosco helped me because
found a
I didn't
quote.
buy shit based on like what do people think's cool, what's the trends.
Yeah,
I bought
exactly.
clothes based on what I like. I
Exactly.
bought the shit I like.
You like
and I got
that.
fucking. People made fun of me for that shit.
Sorry, my phone's really fucking slow. I'm actually replacing it soon. But
Nice.
I found the quote. What others call a rebellious phase, I call the sudden realization I don't deserve to be treated like garbage.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
like
that
it.
was the reason. Like I've gotten not like made fun of, but just observed. You guys already know. You guys are all gonna know who I'm talking about. I'd go to Boston certain stuff. It's like, is that your entire
like a
wardrobe
Satanist.
is all that color, all that? It was fucking blackout night, and I'm just like, motherfucker, you got no identity. Some motherfuckers got no identity, and as soon as you want to have an identity and not just be like, not saying like you have to be fucking naked to stand out, but as soon as you want to like do something for yourself and kind of express yourself, motherfuckers.
That's
will,
when people notice
At
you.
Bosco, especially, will judge you,
Well,
which
I
is
mean,
what I noticed.
You'll
But
see
the
us
thing
help
is
me
that
naked.
Can I talk
and
you-
she'll
go-
have me noticed
well,
without
yeah.
clothes on.
Here, so you go first.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you
I'm
like to
interrupting
do
you a lot,
that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You like to do that. For example,
Yeah.
I love to build Legos. That's my
Yes.
escape. I build Legos and I listen to Star Wars music and people judge me for that.
Soundtracks
And
are
I'm like,
fucking underrated, bro. I
that's
love
what I'm
sound-
saying.
Make
They're
me
so good.
emotional. Yes.
Literally. But, like, it's just, like, you like to do that. And
Yeah.
you say that, like, you go to St. John Bosco and you focus more on yourself, not on that. The thing is that, like, that is yourself.
Yeah.
You like to
That's
buy
what I was
things.
trying to say.
And,
yeah.
exactly. And you've earned it. Like, you go, you work, you make money, you are, like, you
It's not so
have
much. It's not so
the
much about buying
obligation
things.
to
'Cause
buy those things.
buying things is unavoidable. It's just like we work to be able to fulfill our hobbies. I'm just saying the hobbies you follow, like Legos. It's not about spending the money on Legos versus paying your bills. Obviously, you
Join
have to pay
the
fucking
Amish.
No, yeah.
But it's like your thing is Legos. I like buying. I like buying clothes. I like looking at fucking. I go to car meets and shit. That's my hobby.
You keep
got
talking
Gabe.
about
Gabe makes like music. You fuck with music.
I do fuck with
I don't know. We
music.
all.
You keep talking
Yeah.
about all
Yeah,
the
we all have
material
our
stuff,
own
join the Amish.
Yeah.
No thanks.
But-
That's why I buy.
But like,
stuff.
here's the thing
here's-
about like
Go ahead.
Bosco's social structure is like, as you said, Sevi, you like fucking you like build Legos and you listen to Star Wars music, and yet, like, in terms of Bosco, I'd say you're well liked. But of course, there's people that judge you, and there's definitely people that are annoyed with you.
Yeah.
But the thing about Bosco is you gotta realize that not everyone's gonna like you, and people are gonna judge you, because a lot of complaints I have from a lot of people that complain about Bosco, like, socially, is that it's too judgmental. But here's the thing, like, if you're doing what makes you happy and what makes you happy, like, in your hobbies aren't harming anyone and it's just self-expression, if you're judged by a few people, like, they ain't worth
Why
it.
do you give a fuck?
You don't give a fuck.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have to.
I never did.
Yes. The
Don't
thing
give
is
a
that I used to talk to everyone in our grade, everyone, and then now I mainly talk to Henry and Malachi.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
Look,
it's
not
cause
everyone.
It's not because you hate those people. It's just you don't
Exactly,
relate
it's
to
just
them. Wait,
because-
Jacob, you want to say
I don't
something
like-
forever,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
One of the reasons I've continued this podcast over the years, since middle school specifically, is because I've learned something very crucial ever since I had a sort of identity crisis in middle school, very early. Yes, I know. And it's been the sort of the founding principle on which I've predicated the continuation of things like this podcast. I remember I was in Father Paul's moral theology class, and he was talking about sort of the maturity cycle, especially in kids our age. And he explained to me something interesting about this idea that most people have this notion when we're teenagers that we know who we are, or we aren't even a person.
No.
Identity is a
So
commodity.
It's so false.
Okay.
It is false.
The continued spread of social media and access. I don't want to be like phone dad, like, you know.
Yeah,
fuck
we
fuck
all
them
use our
nurture.
fucking
Wiem,
phones.
że nic nie
Yeah.
I know that I know nothing.
But okay, yes. The continued spread of like stuff like social media on top of like the growing sort of, I guess, as you said earlier, archetypal structure within
People?
yes, people, especially that's been like accentuated over the recent years,
I mean,
has set back the rate at which we get identities like growing up very, very rapidly. So
Yeah.
the thing I realized is that most people my age, like people who are legally allowed to like drive cars and like do all this responsible adult shit like work, don't have identities. Like they aren't people yet.
They're just robots.
NPCs. You know what's funny?
I'm not even talking about like this. I'm saying that seriously. Like they don't.
They have no emotion. They don't care about what's important, and they only care about earthly things.
This is why your podcast is good, because
Well.
you know I'm a very judgmental person. You guys see me in the group chats, right?
Yeah.
When I first came here and I haven't seen you, but I saw you and you're like, I'll fight you. I'm like, this guy's entire personality is fucking fighting people. You're an annoying piece of shit. Fuck you. Then we get to this podcast. And it's like I'm totally fucking
like, this
he's
guy's cool,
picking
yeah.
up what you're putting down.
This
He's
guy knows
so
what he's talking about,
spiritual
yeah.
out of
I
it.
know,
Well-
like you're like, and that was my fault. I passed so much fucking judgment on you immediately, and I don't like when I think in my head, I pass a joke. I'm like, oh, this guy just always wants to fight people. I don't like actually mean like I hate this guy, but it's just just me making quirks.
To be fair, we
You know.
just did have a
Well-
knockdown drag
Well,
out.
that's
Well,
totally
that's the thing,
different,
you-
though.
you
When I
guys
started
agreed
talking
to
It was a
trash to him
consensual
when he
fight,
first
yeah.
walked in, that was partially my fault, but also partially his.
But
for straight
it's
up
I
judgment.
can't.
Hey, it's
I
alright,
can't-
bro. It's alright.
I
You
can't
know
get
No,
mad at
I'm agreeing with him. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
No,
totally
I can't
agreeing.
get mad at you, and I hope you're not mad at me because
No.
it's just human nature.
Exactly.
A lot. The reason you
Oh
should
boy,
care, like
I failed AP psychology last semester, so I'm
fuck
qualified
psychology,
to talk
it's a
about
bunch of
this.
bullshit.
I failed psychology.
Sevi, the reason you're saying is like you can have your weird hobbies. Like
Yeah.
I listen to fucking.
People make judgments. People get a feel for who you are within the first 10 seconds
Another
of
thing I
conversation.
do, I swing my lightsaber in my room while listening to Star Wars music. It just like
Dude, that's
fucking
fucking awesome, Awesome, bro. dude.
It's so much fun.
He's good at it too. Fuck off.
See,
Yeah.
and
You've
people
earned it.
really think they like do the weirdest shit nobody thinks, but like that's not even weird. I probably know fucking weirder shit. I realize like we've lost the sense of imagination as a kid. I used to fucking listen. I wasn't a Lego guy because I was the head guy. I played with my fucking Mega Blocks, my boy.
Mega
Listen,
Blocks.
no, I know that's funny, but the thing is, the reason I like Mega Blocks is I like Halo, made Halo. But I remember I'd have all these pieces. I'd set up my room like little missions. I'd have like fucking armies fight each other in my own head. All these storylines and
Yes,
shit.
yes.
And as we grow older, we just lose that. It's like go to work, go to school, post on Instagram.
Right.
Roscoe,
work
do you want to
life.
know an interesting statistic?
13%.
Shut the fuck up. A couple decades ago, NASA designed this sort of.
Here we go.
NASA designed this psychological test that they performed on their own engineers. It was essentially like this sort of baseline model of like a binary scale of creativity, right? They tested on a pool of like the engineers and like the people who worked on the project themselves. And the thing is, how it works is the results come in like a percentage, like 1 to 100, right?
0.
Most of the people who did the test, like the engineers and like the top level STEM people, like geniuses who work at NASA, right? All these people, they maybe got like a 1 or 2% on the test, right?
I thought you said like 51 or 2.
Yeah, like that's what I remember.
Our society doesn't.
But guess what?
Society.
That's not even the good part. The same test, the exact same base model, they tested on a local kindergarten. And do you want to know what the mean average?
90 something.
Jesus.
96.
Damn.
96 out of
The
kindergarten.
thing is,
Because you get a lot more
this is
interaction
a kind
as a
of
kid.
this is a kind of transitional topic because we went from like school to now we're talking about like
Psychoanalysis.
yeah, but this I'm gonna transition into this.
They're deeply.
There's a bit
correlated.
of an epiphany I've had, right?
Mm.
Where
Oh, big words.
there's a lot of expensive hobbies, and one of the most expensive ones is fucking cars.
Oh yeah.
Terribly expensive hobby. This is my thing. I think somebody was talking about earlier. You were saying like, does it really matter if you spend money on clothes? I was gonna bring this up. I was gonna say, well, there's different kind of cars. There's a car that's meant for go to point A for point B for cheap because that's all people care about. But there's sports cars for people who want to do that and like
While
be lively
showing
about
off.
it. And then there's luxury cars for people who want to do that. And there's a car for everybody. For some people, it's point A to B. For other people, they want it electric because they want to save gas. It's all about preference. We spend money on like what we value as people. But what I was gonna say is, me being a car person, obviously, when I grow up, I want to have decent wealth to provide my kids. I want to have a nice fucking car, and I'm not a guy who likes buying something cheap, fixing. I want a fucking pristine ass Porsche, Audi, BMW, shit like that.
With
Then
your karma, the cars are going to be completely phased out by the time
That's
you're an adult.
okay. See, that's another topic, and you guys don't really give. You're not car people. That's a whole car person topic. Fuck electric cars. But this is what I was gonna say, right? I realize that that's just fucking expensive, right? And do you know how you get expensive shit? You work at NASA. You be a fucking brain, like obviously talented in your own field of coding, whatever. But you be a fucking robot cog in the system who can do something super efficiently, and you get paid fucking money. If you want to be creative, you don't get money.
Yeah,
Nobody
that is
is
so
more.
true.
Nobody receives more pain from that fact than me.
Yes.
Guess what?
Yeah.
If you're in the obviously if you're like in the
An
music
artist
industry,
will
you
never
made
be
it.
worth
You have
anything
industry.
until after their death.
Yeah.
Well, no, but if you're like in the music industry, like you have an industry label back, obviously that. But that's the majority of people who try music or art or movie making will fail. And
But the whole system's rigged. If you think
Yeah.
about art, like there's actual
Well-
good artists out there. Artists can't
Like
get
Blade.
paid well.
Well, do you want to know
But
my
the thing is
tragic
that
back?
people get paid millions of dollars to just get a brush, or not even brush, to just
Drake.
throw.
well,
buckets
this is
of
the
paint
thing. This is
on
the
it.
thing about music. It's not that these people I say make music that's not worth anything, but if you look it up, pretty much every single famous like mainstream musician has rich parents, so they are allowed and have the platform to
They've
just
already
spew
got all
their
that.
art everywhere. They can
Yeah.
just spew their art everywhere. And, like Billie Eilish has rich ass parents, and her brother was already in the music industry. All these people have connections, and it's not to diss what they make. Obviously, they can still make good art, but if you're somebody like if Jacob wanted to start music and had this amazing sound, he doesn't have the fucking platform to maybe
And so then
eventually
it's going
with
to
luck.
take him 3 times as longer to get it done.
But then, what is your
And it's
choice
gonna
except to
take
just
time.
work a cog in the system job to get what you want?
Well,
you
do you
either
wanna
value
know-
what you want or you value creativity.
Do you want to know my tragic backstory?
What's that?
My parents, they met in college.
Yeah.
They both worked at this. They went to Auburn University, and they both met at this organization called the Plainsmen. Essentially, they were both campus journalists at the time, right?
Okay.
And the thing is, what brought them together was that shared environment that involved sort of the
Writing.
appreciation for language,
Yeah.
not just writing.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what led to my creation. And ever since I was a kid, from both of them.
I mean, I can tell the way you're wording this that your parents are into writing you that too. You
My-
said how my creation, bro. That's crazy.
My mom, well, she went on to be a literature teacher. My father went into marketing, which, while it's not related to books, it's the art of communication, is it not? And I've been stuck with that same sort of genealogical appreciation. This need to communicate, this need to write, this need to speak. It's the one thing in life that I truly love.
I'd say that's a bit more nurture than nature.
Well, regardless, it doesn't really matter.
You can't change it now. It's too late.
It's too late.
The fact,
I mean,
Well, no, I wasn't saying that you could change it. He's grown up with literature parents his whole life. It's not his
the fact remains that it is what I love.
yeah, it is.
Precisely.
And
Well,
it's-
that's the thing. Okay.
Well, here, wait. Can I
Yeah,
can I
no,
finish
go
my
ahead.
thought?
Go ahead.
Can I finish my thought?
At this point.
After this, we'll let.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Language, this is the very basis of every other thing on Earth.
Yeah.
Because you can't even have like these dumb contracts like math and science without the ability to communicate it to other people. It is the very basis of human interaction. And you'd think it'd be more important in society, but I'm a senior and I said society, didn't I?
Interjection.
No.
As a senior, like they've been pushing me in like the college search or whatever, and like I've been going to all these universities, and I'm like, well, everybody asks like what my major is. Like I was in study hall the other day. I was in study hall the other day, talking to one of my confidants, Miss Harrell, and like we were talking about this, and I was like, the reason I hate that question is because as somebody who likes language, like one of these new marginalized kind of aspects of education, I hate saying that because it essentially just means that's communicating to everybody else in the room, I'm completely fucked. Yeah. I am completely fucked because there is no way I can profit off of doing the thing I love, and I've just been given that destiny.
My parents.
I don't know how to fight it. I don't know how to fight it.
Tell me that. My parents know, and I think all you know, Seven, you played it. My fucking Minecraft raid project.
Yeah.
That's like the ultimate expression of my like childhood creativity and my love for games that I don't even have anymore because how fucking commercialized it is. That's like my ultimate project with that, and my parents like know about it. I remember they randomly brought it up, and it just like meant a lot to me. But they talked like, oh, like can you turn this into a job? I'm like, no, like no. Yeah. And I said, in fact, I'm fucking spending money to make it. I'm paying monthly for a server to host it. I'm probably gonna pay to outsource some fucking guy in India to make it, but I'll still spend it. I'll instead of making money on this, I'm going to spend money because that's how passionate I am about these things. And then you get in the thing where, well, how are you gonna support a family? It's like I don't fucking know. Like I don't know, man. I don't know the answer.
Well, that's okay. Want to know? Like
I don't know.
I always speak all this bullshit about like why I don't like fuck with women. Like,
I don't know. I just
We
don't
love
fuck
women
with
on this
oh yeah, we are fem. This is
We are all
this
feminists.
is number
Oh,
one
yeah.
highly rated feminist podcast. Anyways, loud bitches, please come on the podcast. I want to talk to you so bad. If you're watching this, if you're watching,
They can't watch it. They can only
Jacob,
listen.
I'll get him on the podcast.
yeah, please talk to Alyssa and Ashley. I want them on the podcast
their
so
names?
bad. Yes.
Okay, yeah, we need.
No, one
I should
of
interview
them works at the same Brewsters as Penny Spall.
Not anymore. She's at Belmont University. for college.
I remember
Fucking kill myself. Anyways, the reason I haven't
remembered their names, bro.
the reason
Sorry.
you fucking go. Anyways, the reason I haven't been engaged in a romance, I come up with all these bullshit excuses like, oh yeah, I'm focused on the bag or some shit. I have $0.
Bag.
like
Drugs.
Like I'm on the grind set in a different way, but still, like the reason it is because it's what you said earlier. It's like, if I'm gonna go in a relationship, I do not want to predicate it off the fact that I will never be able to support you. Like it will be a
Yeah,
parasitic.
that's why I don't feel ready to be in a relationship because I don't
No.
fucking know what I'm gonna do if
I will.
see,
I
I
will
know-
leach off of you.
I know what I want to do, but it's not enough to support a girlfriend or
I mean,
much less.
some girls like to wear the pants of the relationship.
Yeah, and
I would never allow.
Hey,
Okay.
girls like wearing the pants. Call me up, Will Roscoe phone number.
Nah, I want the girls without the pants, bro. You
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
really quick though, I just have two quick.
Go ahead.
And the first thing is,
I'm too prideful to allow that.
what?
Here's the thing.
Okay, no, I'm gonna finish my rant.
Wait, let him go.
I have like literally one sentence to fucking.
Okay,
say.
Fine, say it.
Okay. I have like this terrible like paradox within my personality where it's like I have absolutely zero leverage on the things I'm good at and the things I want to do, but at the same time, if I don't have like a sense of authority in any environment, I kill myself instantly. Like it's
You're still
That's
alive,
two
though.
sentences.
Okay, no, shut
I
up.
was waiting to make that joke. I was like, when is he gonna finish?
Go fuck
Okay,
yourself.
so the really quick earlier we were talking about how what our parents do and what we do. Well, like Jacob has is the writing.
Well, communication.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Why do you think we're doing a podcast?
Listen. Let us
Okay,
talk.
so my dad was always into mechanics. I know how to work on cars. I know cars.
Oh, are you okay? You're we're go. You finish.
Yeah.
I'll-
Please, fuck
Yes,
it,
yes,
For a second,
yes,
he's
yes,
like,
yes.
So, but my mom, she never went to college. She was just a simple stay-at-home mom, right? Yeah. Well, I took up about a year and a half ago photography. I'm like it. I'm half decent at it. I think I can make something out of it. But I've always wanted to do firefighting. I'm just going to Lanier Tech to get a simple firefighting degree. Whenever I tell people that, they sit and judge me because they're like, ew, you're going to Lanier Tech of all places. The worst of all schools. Just to get this. I'm like,
It doesn't matter.
exactly. You don't
You get the
need
fucking
anything.
degree.
You don't need something fancy. I don't have to go to
But the college
Georgia
life,
State.
bro.
Yeah,
the college
exactly.
life, bro. The frats, bro.
Exactly. I'm like, no.
Alcohol,
fuck
bro. White
off.
claws, bro. Like, yeah. It's
Yeah,
just
no.
Gwinnett
Daddy
Tech.
lies, bro.
Gwinnett Tech, the real
Gwinnett Tech.
GT.
But I was gonna say earlier, I said I knew a lot about cars. You said I doubt it. We are two different people. You know about like how the fucking cars work, how to fix that shit, which I don't know, and I'm like more of fucking like I know all the history and facts.
You
and shit.
you know how to like sell the facts. I
Yeah.
know how to work.
Well, that's
cars.
why working in a dealership, seeing the salesman, I'm like, you know, it's a grindy job. It sucks. Maybe I should be a car salesman because I get to gaslight people while artistically spurging about car facts for a living. What could be better for me?
Yeah.
Exactly. That like literally.
And when you're a salesperson, if you're a good salesperson, you make money off of commission.
What did-
Yes,
I'll
every car
tell
you
you a
sell,
funny-
you make a
I'll
buck.
tell you a funny story from today. I was clocking at work. Everybody's like, Happy New Year. And I don't really see much of the salesman at the job, but I saw two of them. One's shorter, like, he's like an Asian dude. He's super cool looking. Other guy's the black guy with like really nice headdress, whatever. They're both wearing like suits, sunglasses. They like look the look to be salesmen. And they both go, listen, these motherfuckers go. And I've never seen them. You know, those are the salesmen. They come up and they're like, I'll just say the other guy's name was like Tony or something. Oh yeah, Tony. The Asian guy goes, man, I saw this group of Nigerian guys walking with those big hats, and I look at him. The black guy says, and I go like this. Crosses his arm like Wakanda. People can't see, and he says, and I said, Wakanda forever, brother. And I got that sale. And they're like, yeah, hallelujah, let's fucking go. Both of them, and I was like laughing my ass off at that.
It's
like,
fucking awesome,
because they just gaslit those people for money, and they made their cut. They're like, you had to get your cut too, yeah, brother. Wakanda forever. And I'm like, that's kind of racist, but that guy's black, so I guess he that shit made my day, dude. That was so funny.
Fucking, well, yeah, what kind
Asian
of
guy saying to a black
We've
man,
all.
I scanned a Nigerian. Wakanda forever. That's like true friendship. That's great. What grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
Senior. Henry, you're a junior. Henry, I didn't think about it all junior year, but do you have any idea what the fuck you're gonna do? You just ride Boston.
No
wave right now.
fucking
Okay,
idea.
this is my advice. Ride the wave. Don't give a fuck. So what are you gonna do for college? It's a junior year. You should be looking. Fuck that. No.
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 No, I have
You
no
should be
fucking. I
looking
know what
like
I'd
that.
like.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I still don't even know what the fuck I want to do, like college, or I haven't applied to anywhere or anything like that. Like, I'm
Well,
just,
then just take a year.
that's
like,
what I'm
here's the
thinking.
thing.
Exactly.
I just
That's what I
work.
did.
I know the shit I like,
And you enjoy
but
it,
I also
right?
know that a lot of the shit I like
Isn't
it's
profitable.
it's not gonna be profitable. Or
That
like,
sucks, dude.
It can be, but it's very hard to make
Yeah.
it profitable.
Yeah.
And like, whenever people
Well, there's
are like,
nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. Everybody has this mindset of I got to be a millionaire. The sole nature of being top 1% means that 99 people didn't make it.
Girls in general piss me the fuck off.
Yeah, if you're listening, women from Bosco, do
no,
better.
no, we're a pro women podcast. We gotta get loud.
Okay, listen.
I'm pro women being better. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
We
Guys,
love
I
women,
just
but
love
like,
women for who they are.
I love women.
love
I
how
hate
freakers are
bitches.
hot.
Yo.
and any women that listen to this, we are actually respectful to you guys. We just,
No,
like,
No.
I tried to help you guys a little
She's
bit. alright?
very gorgeous to me.
She's very good.
Well, there goes all my college chances.
Oh shit.
My reputation has died.
Yep.
But that's the
This
thing,
is
though.
listen. This
Jacob,
is my
we're
plan
ready
for
to
college.
retroactively
I'm applying to
reject
Kennesaw because it's easy. I'm gonna go there and I'm just gonna wait longer till I know what the fuck to do.
That's what
I know.
I'm
Because
doing.
this is the thing. It doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
Like
It
really,
doesn't fucking
like,
matter
if
what
someone-
others fucking say.
Well, this is what my parents tell me, and I'm not saying I don't. I love Athens, but they're like, you need to go to UG and get a degree, or otherwise you're gonna be a fucking failure. It's like,
I know.
Well, then they're like, oh, why don't you want to apply? Why are you so like? Why don't you like the idea
That's
of
the
college? It says maybe because the way you explain it to me makes
I
it
mean-
sound like I'm a failure.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
like,
listen.
what?
Stop
You should
keeping
be
bottle
interested in
caps
college,
recorded.
but if you don't get into the one you didn't get into, you're a failure.
Yeah.
No, listen.
No, here's the thing.
Something
It's
Why
on
don't
like,
you
that
apply
topic.
yet?
Listen, something on that topic. My
Go ahead.
mother got a degree in, I think, zoology, but she works college aid services.
That's the yes. The degrees don't matter as long as you have
It is-
one.
Yeah,
You know what's funny?
As long as you had graduated college.
Do you want to know what? Do you want to know what the headmaster of SJBA got a college degree in?
Oh no.
graphic design.
Yup.
Who?
Dude, your school logo is so ass, bro. What the fuck?
The colors are terrible too. We got piss yellow and fucking
Yeah, okay, that fucking
No
yellow.
other way to say it.
Dude, that yellow vest is so fucking ugly. I wanted to vomit the first
Dude,
time.
the thing is,
I saw
our
it.
mascot is the gray wolf.
What is it called?
We
Like,
literally,
we literally had
fucking,
it built
the,
up.
The fucking Cookie Crisp cereal mascot. That didn't land. That was
Because I got tried so
Don't be
hard.
dissing on the mascot, bro. The people inside that costume tried their best.
Regio?
But okay, here's the thing about like college talks. Like you're always gonna be hit with the like, where do you want to go to college? What do you want your major? Like
Bro, I don't know.
Every adult.
the
Every
first
adult.
one, like yeah, it's every adult. It's
I mean,
like unavoidable. The
My
first
chosen
one,
profession probably won't exist in 20 to 50 years.
yeah. But like the first
What's
question,
your
like
major?
Commercial pilot. They're already starting to automate the shit out of
That's
it.
the other.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a whole
That's
other
the
topic.
thing.
But yeah. See.
Wait,
Listen,
let Henry,
about
wait,
cars.
No, let Henry
Henry,
say it.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Go ahead,
like
Henry.
the question of like where do you want to go to college? I don't mind that one that much because it's like, oh, I have someone in mind. I
Yeah.
can just talk to them about that.
What are you gonna do?
But like, what are you gonna do? What's your major gonna be? I fucking hate that question. I'm a junior. I have no fucking idea, bro.
Can I give you
'Cause,
some?
like, here's the thing. Like,
piece?
I know what I like, and if someone asks me that question, I tell them like an idea of what I might want to do because of what I enjoy. I'll always be hit with, how are you gonna profit off of that one?
People love to be so negative, and then
I
when
know.
you lose all motivation, they're like, "Hey, buddy, you have I'm not saying like this. This is disclaimer. People being negative doesn't give you like a absolute excuse to be lazy, but it definitely adds to it because.
Yeah.
I have definitely lately been depressed, and not depressed in the way motherfuckers say it, like, "Oh, I want to kill myself." Depression just means loss of motivation. Like,
Exactly.
Depression
Thank you.
is when you wake up at 1 p.m. every day, skip breakfast, and you go, and then you get fast food. You come home, you play video games, you go to bed again.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
depression. I don't want to kill myself. I'm
No.
not sad. I'm just empty.
I know.
Like,
Exactly.
And then I got my parents like, "Well, you haven't applied yet." It's like, well, because maybe you're not fucking helping. You're just making it. Like everybody points a gun at you. You're like, "I'm passionate about this. That won't work. That's gonna fail." Think of something
Exactly.
else. I want to
We
go
don't
here.
wanna listen
I want
to
to go
it.
here. That's not a good
The
school. we
moment
should get to
you
this school.
answer their questions,
They're
they
just
bury you
disappointed.
in the ground.
We're just disappointed. It's
I
just
mean,
fucking.
yeah, over
well,
the entire quarantine, I had really bad depression. I'm
Yeah.
on meds now and everything, got a therapist, much better, but I
thank
still,
God for that, man.
I've
Yeah,
got
I
no
had a
idea what the
therapist for a while.
fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm doing pilots because I enjoyed flying once. I mean, yeah.
Have you flown?
I've flown.
How do you like it? It's
Good shit.
It's
nice.
good.
Yeah. It seems really relaxing.
Like, yeah, in a way, driving is. That seems.
Yes.
like,
Dude, I fucking love driving, bro.
It's the
Driving
best.
is my
best
happy
therapy.
place.
Like,
Driving.
exactly.
I-
Thank you for that
I put-
because
No,
driving
seriously.
is amazing.
I put
Dude,
so
and
much
that's what-
I waited so long to do like anything driving wise.
the
Just
best.
I don't know why I waited so long. I wasn't like I don't want to get into like family past and stuff like that, but there's a lot of stuff that has to do with like car accidents and whatnot.
Yeah, that's.
And like I wouldn't say like I was afraid, but it was more of like I was just really like concerned that like something could happen, especially if I started later, just based on like what happened when like family members drove at like younger ages and whatnot. And I don't know why I thought that because I'm a very careful driver as it is already, and I know I always will be just because of what, like shit that's happened. But like I wouldn't necessarily say like I regret waiting so long because I'm able to do it now, but it's like I'm
It's
just
like
like
therapy,
I'm
dude.
just imagining like me 2 years ago would have seriously benefited from being able to just leave the house and drive somewhere. And it's
You
like
see, my family's the exact
I do
opposite.
that a lot.
My parents
Yeah.
forced me to get my license as soon as fucking possible because
Right.
there's 3 kids and we've got every single child has
Yeah.
got to be somewhere at least once
Yeah.
a day.
But that's-
Mom and Dad's got a full-time job. Mom took up a full-time job over quarantine.
right.
So I mean, they've got no time to take the other
So did
two.
it stress you out?
Driving them? Nah.
Well,
It's but here like I see what you're saying, and I feel
usually
like
do it like 4 times a week.
I feel like
so-
my parents would have definitely tried to push it on if like stuff hadn't happened in the past. I mean, I don't care. I'll just say
Yeah.
it. My dad before I was around or anything like that, my dad had a previous wife, and like a month after they got married, she passed away in a car accident. And so like and I found out about it like I got my permit like the day like a few days after my 16th birthday because I waited a year kind of thing, and then he told me like a week afterwards, and I was like, I don't even fucking want to drive. So I waited like
Yeah.
another 6 months after I'd got my permit to begin driving, and then I just hadn't set up a driver's test until like a couple
man,
months
good
back,
on you for
and
finally like
being able to get over.
And I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you just had it wasn't bad, but you just had like a minor accident. But how
Yeah,
did,
yeah.
did that like?
I mean that it tripped me up really hard.
wait,
the
did
good,
it like trip you up or piss you off? Because I would be
it,
mad.
well, I
I
was
would be
well.
mad.
Here's the thing is
Statistically,
I
what,
texted my mom. I
99%
like
of new drivers get into an accident within the first 12
here's the thing
months.
is it was 2
Yeah.
days after I got my car. I'll explain the story.
It wasn't his fault though. It was-
Yeah, I'll explain the story in a second. I was like, as soon as it happened, I just kind of freaked out. I pulled into the nearest neighborhood and just like stopped the car because I wanted to go outside and see what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
And so I text my mom. I'm like, Mom, someone just fucking hit my car. No, I said some jackass just fucking hit my car, and she didn't.
That's how she knows you're okay, because you're alive to be mad about it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, she called me, she's like, hey, are you okay? What happened? And here's basically what happened was, I was at work, and I was driving home from work, and there's this road that my neighborhood is on, that windy road. With
Yeah.
And it's a single lane road with a double yellow, so legally you can't cross it. And see, I say I'm a cautious driver, but I'm also like pretty, like, I'm a fast driver. I'll drive like 5-10 over the speed limit.
That's normal.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody
Right,
that's normal.
Here's the thing:
That's
I'm trying to drive like stay around 5 over because I don't, just,
yeah, you want to go with the flow of traffic. You want to
exactly. But so I was driving like 5. I think I was driving maybe like 10 over, maybe a little more.
Normal.
And I know. I'm not saying it was not normal, but some guy just comes like flying behind me, right? And he's going at least 20-25 over. And this road is like, first off, you shouldn't be going 10 over in this road regardless, because it's a very thin, windy road, and we're especially right off of where I turn for work. It's very like hilly as well. And so this guy comes and he tails me for about 10-15 seconds, right? And he's behind me.
He's trying to pass you from the.
I'll explain. Yeah, he was on my ass for like 10-15 seconds. I didn't see where he turned out of, or else I would have been able to like try to, find his plates or anything like that. And so what he does is we're approaching this like uphill right turn, which is already really hard for you to fucking see because it's uphill on both sides, and like the peak of it is where the turn is, so you really can't see any drivers coming the other way. So what this motherfucker does is I'm fucking driving, and he merges across the double yellow into the left lane to try to pass me, and as soon as bend.
So I'm sorry, I want you to visualize one lane on both sides.
Yeah,
he went to the
other side to try to pass me at the very top of the hill, turning right to go back downhill. And as soon as he passes over, there's another car just enjoying their fucking day, going to the grocery store or some shit, going in the opposite direction. So what I have to do so that he doesn't fucking merge directly, because we're side by side at this point. So I have to slam the fucking brakes.
Yep, good. Yeah.
And what he does is he starts merging because it's either knock me off the road or get in a fucking head-on accident.
Yeah.
He's obviously gonna pick knock me off the road.
Yeah.
He's trying to save himself.
What a fucking dumbass.
And so I slam on the brakes. I stop back, drop like 20 miles an hour right away, and he starts merging. The back of his car fucking clips against my front fender, like where at the front of my my driver door, and right in front of it where like the cap over the tire all gets hit. And he sped on. He didn't even stop. It was a hit and run. He just left. That's
fucked, man.
Here's the thing. I'm getting a dashboard camera now, but I got the car 2 days prior, it was a used car. So I'm not too upset because it's a used car, but there was one dent like very small in the back, and that was it.
I thought some guy just like accident. That's fucked up.
But here's the thing that makes it's small, thin road, trees everywhere, neighborhoods, no like street lights or anything. So no one's gonna be able to like find him, kind of thing. It goes on for another 4 miles. He could have turned into any neighborhood. I'm not really looking to go into every person's house and be like, do you have security cameras? Can I look? Kind of thing. Because frankly, I really don't care. It's not going to cost too much to fix, and I'm not going to.
It's the principle of things.
Yeah, I'm pissed. But I'm not pissed enough to go look for him, kind of thing,
That's not an accident. That's like fucking reckless driving.
An
accident is some guy turns and accidentally like brakes too hard and hits you. It's like, hey man, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. That's terrible.
Okay, there was only I wanna say a couple things. Yeah. There was only one time where
you crossed a double yellow to pass somebody.
No. I've never done that.
I've done it 4.
I've never done that because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying I hate you. I hate people who do that. That's not an attack on you. I just it just annoys the shit out of me.
Okay. Explanation. Every time I've done it, it has been completely straight, completely clear.
Okay,
not
when
the person
you
is
can
going
see.
15 under, like ridiculously slow.
But you can see.
Yes, if somebody's going ridiculously slow, like I think this person's either drunk or something's wrong.
Or he's on his phone.
So or he's on his phone. So like for me, it's not like it's like, but like on a windy road, no. You never know. You never know. But sorry, go ahead.
So, I want to say this first. People have called me like a bad driver or not a good driver because I go fast. No, bitch. I go fast because I'm a good driver. I know how to drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, I'm comfortable with myself going a bit over the speed limit. That's how it works. There's other people who go fast just because they want to go fast, and that's how accidents
That's
happen.
the scariest thing.
The only-
I got like motherfuckers be like, because they see you drive fast, you get in their car fast, and they're like, I gotta impress this guy. It's like, no, the fuck you don't. You don't know how a car works. You don't know how rear-wheel drive versus front. Like this guy at one of these soccer game, fucking Squidward's house looking ass. I brought my dad's 2010 Charger RT V8 rear-wheel drive on summer tires. It's not super fast, but you know what's about. He's like, oh, can I drive this thing? I'm like, do you know what rear-wheel drive means? He says no. I'm like, then fuck no.
No.
How the fuck are you supposed to drive a sports car fast if you don't know what it is that makes it
Not
dangerous?
You're
Yeah,
gonna
you
get
know what I
fucked over.
Okay, but back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
There was only one time where I was almost in an accident, and I will say it was definitely my fault. But the thing is that I shouldn't have been driving at that time, because first of all, it was only like 10 o'clock, but I was super fucking tired.
Yeah.
And my head was just not with my body. So what was going on is I was like, I will admit, I was kind of sad. I was like brought down, not by people, but just by myself, because I was like, dude, I got like nothing. Like, emotionally.
I know what you mean.
And so I was like driving on the road. This was right in front of the racetrack out there that's next to the collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going down 141, heading over to my house, and the light's red, but there's no cars in front of me. There's mist everywhere. I can't see the road in front of me. So I keep going. I don't even notice that there's a red light. I don't run the red light though. That's the thing. I didn't. No, but I didn't even run the red light. I was like, what the fuck? I see the red light right as I'm about to fucking cross it. I'm like, holy shit! I slam on the brakes, and right as I do that, a fucking family in a van.
Bro, you almost
goes
just created a Batman,
across
bro.
their
You're
green
fucking
light.
dead.
They had to stop because they thought I was gonna run the red light, and I was like, holy shit!
Did you get in an accident?
What if No, I didn't. But the thing is that, well, thank God. But the thing is that if I did run that red light, I could have killed an entire family along with myself.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And like the thing
That's
guardian angel work right there.
That shit is turn down the volume on the way home.
I wasn't even listening to music that loud.
Nothing.
See, if you get inside your
Stop.
head when you're driving and you zone out, dude, the things that will
Okay,
happen
it's
are
weird.
ridiculous.
Usually when I zone out, when
It
I'm
happens.
driving,
It happens to all of us, man. And I think it's necessary. I feel like God watched over us because I feel like this is what happens to me.
100%.
I drive
definitely.
every 8 months. I get really cocky. Not cocky where I drive like a fucking maniac, but I just get cocky where I just stop paying attention. And then a near accident happens. I'm like, well, I'm gonna pay attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jacob was in a car with me. I've done this twice. I did it when I first started driving. I was just driving along. Where is this? It's near the mall, North Point Mall. It's just a bunch of straightaways.
Yeah, on the
and
way
the
back
thing
to
is,
Captain and
and the thing is, I'm going this way.
Yeah.
This way, there's never any cars because it's outlet malls. There's never any cars coming out of there. So I literally just went straight through this red light, and these people started to turn this fucking BMW X5 with a full family, and I noticed halfway in the red light he was turning, and I have good reactions. I've been driving for a while. Boom, boom, and I'm like, that guy's a fucking asshole. He tried. I look in the rearview mirror. I'm like, and Jacob was in the car, and the first thing I did was, because I'm selfish, I spin the block. I'm like, nope, no red light camera, we're good. So another accident I survived. But
Yeah.
again, it was just a wake up call.
You ever
Fuck, I can't-
notice how in all those near misses you always nearly hit the Brady Bunch? It's like a flowering, aspiring family of 17.
And of course, BMW X5 valued at $80,000.
Just before Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve.
December 23rd.
Yep. There was this. Mom sent me to go. She had someone bake special gluten-free cookies and whatnot for our Christmas dinner.
Killer.
No.
I'm at 90.
We have
Yeah, I
traditional
thought it was
Polish
gonna be okay.
Christmas vigilia,
Oh,
I
sick.
was at 1%.
which is 12-course
You're good,
meal.
you're good.
But Mom's gluten-free, so she had to get a certain meal made gluten-free. So she had a Polish person from the area make it. It was 45 minutes away, so I get sent in the truck Christmas, the 23rd, to go get it. All the way there is fine. Completely fine. I've got the music on. Everything is chill. It's back roads mostly. There was one bit on the highway, but it was the really fast one. What was it?
95?
I think so.
400?
19.
19, that's
19,
400.
Yeah, 400 left. So all of there's fine. I get the cookies and the ushka.
Here, we'll wrap
It's
it up.
gluten-free ushka. Cool. Put it in the car. Start heading home. Right before the merge onto 400. There's like 2 turns before it. There is it's not. I've never been in that area before. But there's someone. 3 people in a row sped through the entire red light. I had to slam on the brakes. All of the stuff flew off the seat into the front windshield.
Oh, that is awful.
I mean, you made the right choice, but fuck, man.
Bro,
Let's go to 11:30.
It stayed in the
he's gotta leave.
containers.
So we're gonna wrap
but
it
it was
up.
all.
It
It stayed in the containers, but
Yeah,
all
we're
the
gonna wrap
all
it
the
up.
cookies were broken
And then
and
be safe.
everything.
One more thing.
They
Are you
stayed
driving
us-
home, or are you?
I am driving.
Okay, be safe, man.
They stayed
Yeah,
in
you
the
gotta be
containers,
safe.
but all the
I know,
cookies
but
were broken
truck
and
driver
everything
be
was just
careful.
like.
That
that.
sucks.
Mom was like, "Oh, I'm just glad you stopped."
Yeah.
Bro, Roscoe, you sent us like voice messages, and I think I've heard you almost get a near miss just based on the voice messages. Because you once
I'm
went to
usually
fucking.
at my car to stand still.
Yeah.
I never send those. on
Really?
video.
Because one time you were driving, you went to Five Guys, and this is back when we were having our feud about Five
Oh,
Guys.
yeah, yeah.
And you went on a Wednesday, and it was closed, and you were pissed. And you were driving back from Five Guys, and you're like, he's like, what's closed on Wednesday? And then he's just here, yeah, and you're just like, what the fuck?
That was.
So anyway, Five Guys.
Fuck, those voice sessions were legendary, man.
Okay.
This is what I was gonna say to you because we both have a car hobby. This is what sucks about a car hobby because obviously I have like my creative passion, which is not profitable, but it's like, oh, car profitable, and then they're just gonna fucking get rid of every car that
Yeah, I
I
know,
care
right?
about. Let's put
Exactly.
a battery in everything.
Exactly.
It's like the hobby for me is like. It's seeing the one thing I picked to be an interest in that could be a career.
It's gonna be
being
gone in
killed
10 years.
in front of me.
I mean, on
There's
the
no
other
soul
hand,
penny in the car. The
All right.
battery sends it to 1 billion gigawatts. I don't care.
on the
Hey,
other
hey,
hand,
Robert.
on the other hand, I went to get gas and it was over $150 for less than 20 gallons.
Oh fuck.
All right, Jacob, go.
Let's wrap it up.
Oh yeah. Shit. Gabe's not even back yet.
He's taking a shit.
Yeah, just.
Here's a consensus. Can all of you drive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Henry
I
cannot.
drove here.
All right. Make it one of those corny ass New Year's resolutions or whatever you guys. But I think we should start doing this more regularly. I say we meet up pretty soon. Maybe like
once a month.
My New Year's
Yeah,
resolution is to
maybe
stop
like
skipping
again
cake
2
As
weeks.
long as I can get
Fresh
out of my house with my annoying, bickering, old people, hatred-filled parents, then I'm good.
I say 2 or
I
3
agree with him.
Yeah. I say 2 or 3 weeks we all meet back here doing
This
another
was
one.
the thing. My parents were
Try
like,
the
I
best.
told my parents, I'm going with my friends
Yeah.
for New Year's. They're like, oh, you're not going to be with
Same
us?
place,
I'm like,
same time.
No, I'm leaving. Bye.
My parents are there. When I told my
Love you,
parents,
but bye.
Yeah, you see. when
Another
you have a
thing,
big family,
Hey.
it's so hard to do that.
Yeah. Another thing, Bosco, stay tuned. There's some big things on the
Oh, yeah.
on the up and up.
What's
Things
that?
are brewing within the system, but this podcast might be coming to another station near you.
Loud girls, hit me up.
Loud
bitches.
Loud bitches yet again.
It's like he's got his arms. He's got his arms around his head like a
He's
cobra
got his
position.
legs
It's
spread.
loud
Yet,
bitches.
yet again, I implore loud bitches to come. Very fortunate words. Yes.
Come do you want?
It's fucking.
that was-
All right. I think that's
You're
a pretty good
supposed to be
stopping
the
point.
spiritual one. Why
That was a good one. I feel like I could have gone for another 3 hours, bro.
Yeah.
That was a good
Okay,
one.
that's exactly maybe
Ladies
one.
and gentlemen,
anyways.
And it's this
been a
Cuban
great
guy's
podcast.
fault.
Yes. Anyways,
Hopefully the country.
I miss you a happy New Year's and I bid the temporary
Goodbye.
adieu.
Adios.